It's called Baccano.
Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Oh my god.
We'll link the
Yes.
song down below.
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back to Weeb101, and today we are talking about Sid. What are we talking about? Sid, what are we talking about? Sid, what are we talking about?
My god. Today we are talking about an anime based on the light novel series by Ryohgo Narita. It's called Baccano.
Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Oh my god.
We'll link
Yes.
the song down below.
Yes, he's
That's
been
all I
waiting.
Sid, I wanted to
Thank
say,
Yes, he's been waiting.
last podcast,
Yeah.
you had the bowler hat, right? Or whatever hat that was. You could have worn that now.
Yeah, I wore it, but I
You can
didn't
actually
want
wear that now if you want.
Yeah, he did wear it and then
I
he took
did
it
wear
off
it,
because
and I threw it away.
you took so long to join the call that the hat kind of disintegrated.
Yes.
I see.
And by the way, Brew has been waiting to say that joke for almost a few
week
days
now.
Yes.
now. Yeah. It's like, I'm
Yes.
gonna say that. And yeah.
If anything, he's
finally
been
said
bugging us. He bugs us for like at least 1 hour saying Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Yes. I shall
Yes.
take
Ah,
the
yes.
blame for that.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Sid Shad. He introduced me to the song and then he introduced me to Baccano. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
well, for those who don't know, Sid, I didn't even wait for you to ask me this time. For those who don't know, Baccano is. How in God's name do I explain this anime? It's a
Italian.
gangster
I'm not sure.
mafia anime with supernatural elements, most of which takes place on a train and has a non-linear type of storytelling. So it's not just story starts here, goes on and ends here. It's like story starts here and then goes to the past and then comes to the present and then goes to the past and then comes to the present and then finally
Here
ends
and
in a
there and
mixture
here
of
and
everything.
there and yeah.
Yes,
It goes everywhere.
pretty much.
My camera just spazzed out when I hit the table. okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little anime, and I learned something before coming onto the podcast. Less than 1/5 of the light novels have been adapted into an anime.
Oh wow. Oh, that's
So there are-
interesting.
Overall,
Yeah, so the first 5 novels, light novels, more or less have been adapted into the anime, and there are 20
Yeah,
plus
there are 22.
light novels right now.
Yeah,
and
22. It's crazy.
Damn.
It's still ongoing or it's done?
it's still ongoing. The author is sick, and they're
Whoa.
waiting for the next
I
chapter
see.
to come out, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the latest news, but so Baccano is apparently a lot more complex than the anime shows it to be. They've cut out a lot of characters. The
yeah.
They've cut
They've
out
not-
a lot. I see.
they've cut out a lot, and they didn't want to reveal the identity of the rail. What was it called?
Rail tracer.
Yeah, the rail tracer.
tracer.
So they cut out a lot of POV shots of the rail tracer itself, and they actually have that in the light novel where they show the rail tracer's POV. They have the events are a lot more organized. There is less
Oh.
complication, and well,
wait. So wait.
There's like a
small
whole
question.
universe to this
Yeah.
thing?
So
Yeah.
in the story, like, do they show the past before the train? Like, how does did they just make that storytelling decision in the anime?
They made the storytelling decision in the anime. Apparently, in the book, it's like one part, and then after that is the train part, and then after that is the searching for Dallas
Makes
part.
so much
So-
more sense. Okay.
Yeah,
At least
that'll
that's
be
what
more
that's what I've
easier
seen.
on the head.
Yeah.
In my limited research, I don't know. I might be
Yeah.
getting something wrong, but based on what I saw, apparently it's divided that way,
Okay.
which is a lot better to read. Yes.
Yes, a lot
Yeah.
better. Yeah, I would
And
assume.
It'll be easier to follow, yes.
And before I'm just going to say spoiler alert from now on because
yeah.
we're going to talk about shit. But even the scene where the 2 bottles are being, flown around by everybody through multiple people, what happens
sake
is
bottles.
that there are actually 4 bottles,
Oh.
and the guy who's taking them, and Firo comes and he exchanges those bottles with his own liquor, which he was taking to the party.
What?
And he takes it to the party directly. So that is all. It's just like Barnes, Firo, and party. And
Yeah.
there is no other complication in that whole thing. So there aren't like 500 different people who go touch that bottle and take it to places. It's not like that at all. And even
I see.
a couple of scenes which I remember off the top of my head. One was the beggar who cuts Firo's
In the
fingers off
beginning.
at the start.
Yeah.
So apparently that scene actually happens before he gets his immortality, and he
Oh.
doesn't get his fingers cut off. The beggar
Oh.
attacks him, and then a policeman comes up and reveals that I forgot which cop, but it's one of the cops in the show. He reveals that he was working with Firo to catch this guy because he killed a certain person who was brewing a certain immortality potion for a certain other person. And it wasn't Barnes who was making the potion, apparently. It was this dude. And he got murdered. And because he got murdered, the old dude, I forgot his name. Oh my god, I forgot his name. What's his name?
Slazard.
Yes,
that
whatever.
guy.
Szilard,
Szilard,
Szilard.
Yeah.
So because he got
Lizard,
murdered,
yes.
he couldn't absorb him and absorb the information. That's why he doesn't know how to make more of the potion. That's why he's so desperate to get back those few bottles that were made. Because in the anime he absorbs Barnes and he has the whole knowledge.
Yeah, he has it.
So
Yeah.
why would he be like, oh my god, I need to get those bottles back? He'd just be like, hey, screw it, I'll just make some more over here.
Yeah.
So
He seems-
there's a lot explained in the light novels
Yeah.
which isn't in the anime.
But
And
that
they
guy,
changed a
I mean,
few
he seems
things.
he
Technically,
seems scarier.
the scientist
Like
Huh?
the lizard, whatever that guy. He
Yeah.
seems,
Szilard, yeah.
he seems like there's this weird sense. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I may have missed something, but in the anime, he seems to be much threatening than he actually is. You know, like the people, like in the end, like also when he's like shooting Maiza and stuff, they don't show a lot. But like Maiza literally doesn't do shit, right? Maiza is just sitting there, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, how dare you!" Like he's the one who's being violent.
Yeah.
So I assume Maiza could do more if he wanted to, I guess, but he just gets away with
I
being
think-
like doing nothing.
I think Maiza wanted to abandon his old ways, and that's why because I was also wondering in the
Yes,
whole
and that's why he joined the
scene-
mafia, you're right.
No, like his old ways as an alchemist. Like he didn't want to eat people or absorb people as such. And he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do anything even if Szilard comes up to my feet and wants to eat me himself. And I was wondering, why couldn't he just raise out his right arm as like this one time and as an exception? Like, I just eat you, bye.
Oh, well. I'm
Because
assuming that-
Maiza, he's the only one who knows how to call the demon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That they show.
No. He's the only one who knows how to. Well, everyone knows how to call the demon, but
Okay.
he's the only one who knows how to make the full this
No,
thing.
not everyone
The
knows how
full-
to call the
No.
demon. He's supposed to be an
Yeah,
alchemist
he's
with
supposed
extreme
to be
power
the one.
and
Yeah, that's what
potency
they
and all
say.
that.
Well, it was
Yeah.
him alone.
Yeah.
Because I saw like four
The
other
demon
people over
himself
there.
says that Maiza, you can only call, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
The demon says that he's around at all times, but he says that only Maiza is the one who knows the full knowledge of
Yeah,
the
that's because he
immortality
gives.
potion.
That's because Maiza is the one who could summon him. Nobody else could summon him.
Yeah.
If they could summon him, then he would have given it to the others as well. But also, the demon himself is. This wasn't the first set of immortals that he created. The
Oh.
people from the ship. There was also a previous set of immortals that he created, and he is supposed to
I
be
see.
like the. He is supposed to be one of the complete homunculi.
Okay, yeah.
Who exist and
Complete?
yeah he's basically called a demon, but he's just basically a homunculus, and he uses his powers and spreads around his knowledge. And when Elmer is like falling into the water and he's like dying and shit, he's like, demon, I will give you one wish, and he's like, oh, so I don't know if you saw the last.
No, I haven't seen.
This
No,
one.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen the last.
The last one, no.
So in the last one, basically what Elmer asks for when the demon grants him a wish, he's like, stay. Maiza lost his brother. Stay next to Maiza so that you can keep him safe. And in the end, Elmer actually comes back and visits the demon, and
Oh.
he slaps him on the back while he's smoking, and the demon is like, and
Yes.
and he's like, oh, thank you for staying next to Maiza, keep protecting him, I'm going now. And then the demon is like, oh, I didn't stay with him because you asked me, baka. No, he's in like a I don't even know if I should say the word, but yeah, he's like, I was curious, so I wanted to stay by Maiza and check out what he was doing and all that. But
Oh, I
apparently
see.
Elmer asked for that. And a couple of other small differences that I found. One is immortals cannot spread knowledge to other immortals using their right hand. Apparently, that's not a thing in the light novels. So even when Maiza is telling his brother, what's his brother's name? See, there are too many names in this anime.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
if you're good with names, watch the anime. If you're not good
Yeah,
with
if
names
you're
like
not
us,
good with names,
still
yeah.
watch it,
You're
but you won't
good
remember
with
anything.
Gred, that's his name.
Gred, I see.
Gred or Gerd. It's like Gerd, but in the voice they say Gredo, and I'm wondering, are they misspelling it or something?
Okay, I see. Yeah.
But it's Gred or Gerd. I'm assuming it's Gerd because it's more in line with the Western.
GERD, like the gastric disease where you keep burping.
Is that a thing?
Yes,
Gerd? See, okay, yeah, around those lines then.
Okay, I'm just going to Google it so that it's Gretto and
Greto.
and Gerd is like a romanization that was used in the
Yeah.
anime
Okay,
and is
okay,
an
I
incorrect
see.
reading.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, what about him? Tell us.
Yeah, so in the anime, the old dude, I forgot his name already, goes and so Maizas gives the knowledge to his brother, going like, "Oh, I give you knowledge," and then the old dude sees it and he's like, "Ooh, knowledge, you," and it sucks him up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what actually happens is, which this makes more sense in the light novel, I must say. Maiza openly tells his brother, he's like, "Oh, okay, I tell you in secret. Here is the secret that the devil gave me." And his brother is like, "Damn, oh, devil gave you secret." Oh. And then this old dude is actually eavesdropping. He's like, "I got the secret now." And then he's like, "Wait, I only have half of it," because he only told him half the secret.
Yeah.
How do I get the whole thing? He's like, "I have to absorb Maiza." So he goes to where Maiza usually sleeps and tries to absorb him, but doesn't realize that Greto is actually sleeping instead of Maiza. So he accidentally absorbs Greto, and that causes people to be like, "Hey, who's absorbing people around here?" And then causes the whole commotion, which
In the
creates a
beginning.
big problem.
That
So
makes more sense.
so yeah, they can't pass knowledge. The only thing they can do is if they make a homunculus or the homunculi, they can spread knowledge to the homunculi through their left hand, not their right hand.
Or like,
Only to the homunculi or
Only
not
to the
in general?
homunculi, not to other immortals.
what about what Firo did to like Ennis in the
Ennis.
end?
Yeah, I was wondering if that is the case. Ennis should be permanently a panga
Aponga.
after that point, right? She was talking, right, in
Sounds
the anime?
like something that's going to get us cancelled. Please don't say that. But yeah, so no.
I see.
Basically, the logic there is that he can control the homunculi through will, because she says that I was created through his will.
Yeah.
So once this guy absorbs the old dude, he's just like, well, now I know how to. If I will it, it means he's willing it, which means she gets to live. I'm assuming that's
Yeah.
the logic over there.
But
Couple of things that make a lot more sense
that
in the
makes
light
a lot more
novels.
sense. The biggest thing you said for me is the way they told the story. Because
Yeah.
see, I'm not I'm gonna say I'm not this to experimental storytelling. I'm very open to that. Seen a lot of stuff, but doesn't mean it always works. Okay, especially for Baccano. We discussed this before. The switch backs to the past and during the train and what was going on. Especially I realize this now, like since I was just watching the end. Towards the last 2-3 episodes, they did it more and more randomly, and for me, it got more and more like
Yeah, there were like
distracting.
9 or 10 different switches.
Even though I
It
could
got a bit
follow,
distracting, yeah.
it to an extent, but especially for me, the last episode that I just saw, like an hour ago or so, like there were so many switches between the train and the past and the train, and like I think they kept increasing it towards the end because they were reaching the end. I guess they wanted to bring it back together.
I think in the last episode, yeah, they only showed the 3 of them at like one straight go. Like the first time they showed the train scene.
Yeah.
Then after that they showed this thing. What's it called? Firo and Ennis. And then the third one, I forgot. Third perspective was about who?
Sorry, my like washing machine is running, so you may hear that. I can't help it, but yeah.
But yeah, they basically showed them one after the other. They somehow switched from the whole confusing portrayal of
I would have
stories
loved-
to this in
yeah.
the last, but only in the
I
last
would have
episode.
loved a part 1 train and a part 1 past and a part 2 train.
Like a
light
chapter
novels.
one
I
sort
would have
of.
enjoyed that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, so I just have a link open here, and the 3 major timelines in the Baccano anime are as follows. November 1930 timeline, the 1,000-year drink is adapted from the light novel 1,
Yeah.
which is the Martello family associate Firo is said to be promoted, and then a certain elixir nears completion, blah 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 blah. And then December 30th to 31st, 1931, Dangers on a Train is adapted from light novels 2 to 3, which tells the story of a transcontinental luxury express hijacked by 3 independent factions.
Okay.
And what's this about the rail tracer? And then December 1931 to Jan 1932 is Finding Dallas, which is adapted from light novel 4, which is about finding Dallas, if you can believe it. And
Oh,
that's
so
the
they
main thing.
mixed. So they mixed all of those.
They mixed all
like,
the.
made
It
a
seems
mess
like
out
they
of
mixed
it.
all the light novels
Yeah,
at
everything
least.
into one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just cut up pages, just paste
Yeah,
it
but I'm
back in
interested. Why did
random
they
order.
make that decision? Like they didn't do it in a way where it did work, and we could still make sense the way they did it.
Yeah.
Like I could still understand everything that was going on, but it still seemed to break me away from, especially during the train scene. I was like, for some, I was getting excited, like, okay, what's gonna happen now? And then they're like, okay, now we're back in the past. Like, and
Yeah, I think this break way of telling it is still fine, but then when the whole chronological order of it just gets messed up, you start getting confused, and you're trying to just keep up
No,
with
it wasn't
the
confusing
where the
because I understood, like, they were introducing a character doing something and they were like, okay, let's go into this character's past and like show that and most like I see why they
No,
were
you could
trying
follow
to
up
do
because
it
you knew, but then
because they were like
it
teaching
just
us
felt
more
it was a
about the
headache.
characters in the train scene. But do you think if we started with the past of the characters, it would have worked better, or this was the best way it could work? Huh?
I'm not sure. I think it can work differently, maybe not better. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's like a version out there on the internet somewhere where they've all put back like everything in a proper order, and you can just watch it all in one go. Who knows? But maybe it might not have worked as well as what we have seen.
Yeah, and a couple.
It is possible.
Couple more things to add on before we go on. One is so the president of who was hidden behind this thing big stack of books. His
Fucking
identity
Carol.
is unknown. It's not that
Carol.
guy. Because
it's
that
not
guy
that
is the
guy?
vice president.
Oh,
And
he's the vice president.
The vice president and Carol are apparently in charge of the stories regarding the immortals.
I see.
I see.
And the dude, the blonde dude, I forgot his name. God
Yeah,
damn it.
the
that
dude,
guy.
the blonde dude, yes. The
No, I
receptionist.
The news guy.
because
The
this is
receptionist
another-
at Daily Days.
Yeah, but the thing is, hold on, I think his name is somewhere.
You
around
should
here.
just keep the Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano wiki
Jack-
open. Because there are so many names.
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Yes.
Okay.
So Nicholas in the anime is a combination of two characters, which is Nicholas from the light novels and a character called Henry. And all the bad parts of Nicholas in the anime are apparently from Henry in the light novels. So Nicholas is supposed to be like a nicer guy in the light novels itself. And well, there's also a part in the light novels where the Daily Days is under attack, and people are actually the gangs are actually trying to destroy the Daily Days or fight or do something to the Daily Days. I'm not really sure. I couldn't look too much into it. But basically, a lot of cool stuff seems to be happening in the light novels. And you guys didn't see the last couple of episodes, I'm
I
assuming.
didn't see the last two. Yeah.
I didn't see the last two either. I just got done with the last one.
Yeah, so basically,
The first special.
you're introduced to that dude whose name is apparently Who, the guy whose lad's
The mechanic.
subordinate type.
basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that crazy guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They show
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
So
that
the
guy is
crazy
like
guy kidnaps that girl.
the little sister.
Lua.
No, he
Evil.
kidnaps Shane.
Oh, Shane.
Yeah, he
She
thinks.
kidnapped Shani.
Yeah, he thinks she's Eve and he kidnaps her.
Oh.
And Shane is being courted by this dude, the rail tracer.
Yeah, the crazy.
He sends her a dress, and Shane joins Jacuzzi and his gang. Okay, and she's like found on the river or something, and he takes her in because he's like, oh my god, okay, this is how our members were found. We give homes to people who don't have homes and stuff like that. So she gets kidnapped, and he tells this Jacuzzi to get him like a insane amount of money, otherwise she dies. And this guy doesn't know that she's as powerful as she is, so he runs all the way there. I mean, his arm is in a cast and shit, and he's running there. He's like, listen, I don't have money, but I have a huge bounty on my head. Just give me up, and you can collect the bounty. And Shane is like, why is he doing this for me? What the hell? I don't understand. And then, as the situation gets heated up. And he also tells him, like, come alone, otherwise, you know what will happen. And then his entire crew turns up, and he's like, hey, I told you to come alone. And then the Nisei is like, hey, no, I came alone. I don't know what these guys are doing here. And the other dude's like, yeah, I came walking here from Mexico. And the other dude's like, yeah, I too came here I came from here. And then everyone's like, yeah, I also came alone. What are you guys doing here?
Oh,
and
we
then,
all came alone.
and then who's like, the mechanic dude is like, that is true. You guys did not contradict me. You all came alone. I'm like, huh? That worked. That surprisingly worked.
Too simple-minded a character to just easily convince like that.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, you are protecting this woman. You have moved my heart, but I don't know whether I should fight her or I should let her go now. I'm torn." And then the rail tracer dude comes in along with this, and he's like, before you do anything, wait, I need to talk to this woman. And he's like, Shade, I love you. Let's get married. And she's like, huh. And then they're talking, and this dude is like, oh my god, what the hell are you guys doing? You're so annoying. And then he's like, okay, if you cause problems to Shane and this group, I'll have to take care of you. And he's like, oh, you think you're so cool, huh? The only one who's ever spoken to me with such arrogance is Master Lad, and nobody can beat Master Lad. And the rail tracer is like, oh, Master Lad? You mean from the Russo family? He's like, yeah, that's that dude, you know him? He's like, yeah, didn't he fall from the train? He's like, how do you know that? There's been no rumors outside out of his closest companions. How do you know that? And he's like, I threw him out of the train. and who's like, oh, you done screwed up. Oh, I'm coming after you. You're gonna die. And they start fighting. And of course, he can't touch the rail tracer because rail tracer OP.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he suddenly stops and he's like, I cannot take this fight any further. And everyone's like, What? Why? And then this dude's like, this guy will be killed by Master Lad anyway. It's only a matter of time. And rail tracer's like, well, thank you for the warning. And this guy's like, no, it's a death sentence. Like, let's go. And then he just walk out.
What the fuck?
And on the other hand, Lad is been arrested by the police and he's cooperating with them. And
Can they really arrest him? Can he be arrested? Is it possible?
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
They arrest him. He's cooperating with them. And then suddenly he's like, hey, where's that Huey guy? And he's like, oh, he's going to Alcatraz. And this guy's like, hey, arigato de. Creepy scary dude. And they also reveal that Shane, so she doesn't have a voice, right? So what happens is Huey tells her the secret. He's like, I'm going to tell you the secret and I'll give you a reward. Okay? And he's so like, you love me, right? Oh, you will never tell anyone, right? And she's like, no, I will never tell anyone. And then, was that in the first episode?
Yeah, 13, yeah. That was 14,
okay.
yeah.
13, not first,
yeah.
yeah. 14, last
so
one.
yeah, she gives the voice up voluntarily. But yeah, that's all I found about the differences for now, at least.
There are a lot more.
I think it would be
Lot
more
of
interesting to read it.
differences.
Yeah, it's a whole world in the light novel universe that we haven't been told.
A fictional mafia universe. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, there is also a manga, but the light novels are the original.
The
source.
OG. Pretty
So, yeah.
interesting.
That's the thing. So if you don't know the number of light novels that are there, you will probably be happy with the anime. But if
Yeah.
you know the
Yeah.
number
If
of
you
light
know,
novels
yeah,
and
yeah,
how
like-
they are, you're going to be really unhappy with the anime because you're like, why didn't I get more?
Yeah,
I
why did I
wanna
get
know
more? Yeah. They should actually, they should have given us more, If there is.
I guess
so
by
much to
itself,
explore.
it works as a story. but yeah,
Is there
I
anything
think
you know about Isaac and Media? Because they're fucking amazing and I would love to know more about them. If
I
there's
didn't read anything about them.
Damn
per
it.
se.
Really fucking cool.
so
Favorite
they're
characters.
just there, They're just enigmas, just walking around through the whole mess of the story, even in the anime and the light novels.
Did we see more of them in 14, in 15, 16?
I think you do. We see them in 14, right? They do the whole
They
domino
are
thing.
only there for the domino thing. They're not there.
They're
for
only, only in 14,
Ah,
right?
that's the
Although you know
Damn
how
it.
it ends. The last episode ends with them. They're in that nun and father outfit, and they're running. They're just like running with money, and the cops are chasing after them. And Isaac is like, Then he just grabs his bag of money. He takes out a giant handful of cash, and he's like, "Merry Christmas!" and he throws it. And then Miria is like, "Oh, but it's not Christmas. You're a month early." He's like, "Merry Christmas!" and he throws it. And then he says something like, "Oh, if we get rid of all this money, then it's like, he will finally be happy, and then Miria's like, yes, she will be happy, and then he's like, oh, and look at all these people, they are also happy, and then they look behind and there are like cars crashed into each other because everybody's trying to get the money, and Miria's like, yes, they are happy, and as they run, he's like Miria's like, oh, where do we go next? She's like, how about we go dig for gold? And Miria's like, yes, we shall go dig for gold.
Oh, I see.
And they bring it back
goes
full
back,
circle.
yes.
That's cool.
My God.
Dude, even
That is
before
good.
in
That is
14, towards the end, like they're running with the cell phones. They're like, yo, I read about the cell phones. It's a big addiction. We are changing families. We're changing society.
They are the conspiracy theories that we all know of.
But
They
much
think
more
5G
fun
is
versions of
big
it.
scam.
Yeah, in the beginning I was like, is this like the 5G thing that they're trying to...
Either it is that, right, or it is that they just see this trope as another opportunity to just rob shit, and they just like, yes, totally. Why waves do cause poisonous things in your head? Yes, they do tear apart
I
families.
did enjoy their kid-like attitude, dude. It's freaking amazing. Yeah, the way they react. And also the way they interact with each other is like beautiful.
Yeah.
They're always
The way they
innocent.
imitate each other, their actions, their really innocent actions, like they're best characters out of all
Best
of
characters
Uh,
for sure.
them. For sure.
All the other
Did
characters
you
aren't
read
even
about
close.
them?
Yeah, they aren't even close. Like Isaac and Media, like tier S tier, S tier.
S
We were
tier.
ranking-
S plus plus.
See, on one hand, the vice president is like, Carol.
Oh my God, the
But then every
fucking
time Isaac
Carol.
is like,
Carol.
something Miria. And Miria
Yeah.
is like, Isaac. I'm like,
Yeah, that was cool. Dude, I think in the beginning the vice president overdid his voice acting to that guy. He put too much into it.
He's also there in the end.
Oh,
So,
wow.
in
great.
the end, they walk past the demon. And
Uh-huh.
they're talking about, so she's like, how does this story end? And he's like, stories don't have a beginning and an end, stories just keep going and all that stuff. You just have to enjoy it. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess that doesn't make sense to me at all, but okay. And then they see a rat, and then a car runs over the rat, and she's like, and the vice president's like, no, look at it, look at the rat. She's like, no, I don't want to. He's like, no, do you not remember this rat? And she's like, and then she looks at the rat, and the rat comes back to life, and it's the rat that was originally
Holy
experimented
shit,
upon.
My
God.
God, that one rat has
Fucking-
eaten so much
Yeah, and
shit
then-
through the whole
And then,
series.
and then the vice president's like, what do you think the rat has been doing for so long? What do you think it's going to do now? This is how stories are. And Carol is like, ooh, I'm starting to like this now. Ooh, it's so fun. And then they're like, yeah, exactly. And also that woman, Sylvia, I think.
Who was she?
Sylvia?
The girl who on the ship who doesn't drink the potion. So
Chippa.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I
make
know
the
what you're
first
talking about.
Immortals.
Yeah, who
The white-haired girl.
Yeah, who
who's
this
dating,
guy, who the old guy tries to kill, right? Who kills
yeah.
the old guy
And
kills,
then he's like, oh, you didn't drink it at all.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently, so Elmer finds her later. Elmer is like going around meeting everybody. Okay, he's just like, yo, what's up? I'm just coming here to talk to you. And she's like, oh, how did you recognize me? He's like, well, I just thought about how you'd look if you grew up, and you look exactly like her. I was like,
Yeah.
huh? Interesting. And he's like, oh, when did you drink the potion? She's like, oh, I thought if I was going to stop time, I might as well do it when I was more mature. So then he's like, oh, so you're 20 something now. She's like, yep, I'm 20 something now. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, see you later, bye. And then they just go their own fucking ways. And he also meets Huey in prison. That
I remember that. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And he's just going around. He's meeting people. Like what? God damn it.
Elmer is living the life.
Yeah, living the life basically.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make people smile. He's like, 200 years I've lived, and it's like a legit philosophical problem for these people, because Elmer is like, I've lived for 200 years.
Yeah.
Who knows what the world is going to be like? Who knows if life is pointless? I'm like, dude, you live for 200 fucking years, just fucking die already.
That's true.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
that's what. In
Who
the
wants to
end,
live for
okay.
that long?
Yeah, in the end of episode 30, like immortality is fucking painful. Okay, it's the most painful thing on earth. And in the end, these guys, those others, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we can't die, and they're celebrating. I'm like, yo, what
50
the
years
fuck?
later, they'll realize how bad it is.
They'll be the most miserable people in life after that.
Or they're just people who don't give a shit. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy every single bit of my gangster life and not care about anything else, because I genuinely cannot comprehend how you can go
exactly.
like hundreds of years oh my god, I'm 25
So
and I'm like,
painful.
oh, when will this ride end? Oh my god, I'm done.
That's so
I don't know.
personal.
200
Like maybe
years?
who knows? Like that obviously, yeah, you will be bored as shit, and after a point, you
No,
just
you'd
don't
be a
want to
different
live anymore. But
person.
then-
You wouldn't laugh. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
do
will be, but
anything
then
because you know you're not gonna
wouldn't
die.
you think that there's a lot of prospects out there for someone who can be
Yeah,
immortal?
but
Like you
for
have
like,
all the
okay,
time in
for
the
like
world, so why not do
200
it?
years,
What are you
for
going
like
to do?
300
You
years.
have to,
For
you still
I don't
need
know,
money. Hey, you still need money.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're going to work for like 200 years?
Okay, no. See, like, okay, these guys are robbers,
No.
clearly. So they know they have ways to acquire money. They can acquire all the money they want.
Wait,
So
do
they
you
can
guys
just
know
do
what
whatever-
happens to Dallas?
Yeah, he gets thrown in the
He
river.
gets
right?
thrown into a river.
Ah,
no?
yeah,
Thrown into
that's
the
what's
Hudson.
going to happen to you
Yeah.
if you're a robber, dumbass.
Yeah.
They'll throw you into a river with
If
like
you're
weights
good enough, you
tied
know.
Hey.
onto your
No.
feet and you're just going to drown
Yeah.
forever.
You're gonna drown for and
Well, see, that's one of the one fate that happened to one of the immortals. But then why, if you're good enough, can't you just evade the police to some extent?
Yeah, until the government is like,
isn't
you
it
know what,
possible?
we've shot this guy like 20 times. He didn't die. Time for experimentation.
yeah. Also, see, oddly, you'll be like, okay, what if see, here you're still putting a lifespan. You're like, okay, 200 years, 500 years, but forever is what makes it painful. Even if it was 500 years, you're like, okay, in 500 years, I know I'm gonna die. But forever, like after the Earth gets consumed by the sun in 7 billion years or whatever, you'll still be just there in space, fucking combusting and
Okay, see,
coming. Like, what the fuck?
then you know it'll be a problem.
Oh, I see.
But that's like for way.
Yeah, but
then.
that's what it
That's what I'm
is.
saying, right? You come up to like 2001 and you see all this technological advancements that happen. Your mind is fucking blown. And now in 10
You do
years time,
realize
they're
that
having more.
everybody's mind is blown in everybody's lifetime because of technological advancements.
But then this guy is experiencing it from like a long while back. He sees how time goes
Yeah,
on.
and okay, one second. If you
And as slow
lived
as
from
it
the
may be, as
caveman
slow as it may
times,
be.
you aren't going to look at a new RTX 3090 and be like, oh, this is the shit. The first graphics card ever made, you're gonna be like, worth living. And then now you're like, I've seen it all, dude. Yeah, dude, you're gonna run another game at 120
Yeah.
FPS. Oh, good job. I've seen been
I
there,
guess.
done that. You know, it's got to become like that. But if
Yeah.
you're like us and Nvidia was a company before we were even born. I don't know, but they probably. And then they've been making graphic cards for like years. And for us, these things are new, and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
we can actually buy this and run
exactly.
games. Oh,
We get
But then-
excited about things. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, when I told my dad, for example, my dad used to build computers for his office a long time ago. I was like, oh, yo, dad, you heard of this new GPU and this new CPU? He's like, so. I'm like, yo, it has this much RAM. It has these many cores. It runs at this speed. He's like, cool, yes, cool.
I see. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
didn't do
Dad,
shit.
Okay,
it's
maybe
advancement.
not-
He's like, yeah, I was there when they first came out with like dual core processors. That was a big thing. Now I just don't care anymore. It's like 12 cores good for you. And that's my dad. He's not 200 years old. He's like, what, 60 years old?
Okay. Maybe not something in such a small span of time. Like, okay, we switched from steam power to electric power. Then we switched from like fucking gigantic warehouse sizes of computers to this tiny tablet worth size of computer. Now maybe switching into an electronic age, maybe that's like mind blowing to them. So
Again,
maybe who knows?
Dude, it's mind blowing
In
to
the large
you.
span of
It's
time.
Yeah, it's mind blowing to you.
Not
Let me
to
take another
them.
example. My grandmother is like, what is this device? I'm like, it's tablet. You can access internet.
But
You can
she's
play
not
games.
like-
She's like,
Come
wow,
on,
good.
these
Okay.
guys are. Okay,
that's it.
These guys are still.
Yeah.
These guys can still process the information. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah, but-
technology. Your grandmother would be able to do.
She
same
still
because she's
can.
allergic.
She's like, wow, you can make calls through this. I'm like, yeah. And she doesn't be like, oh. She's like, okay, I take call. Hello. That's it.
Dude, like Bruce said, if you are alive from the Stone Age, you know, you go through all like the Middle Ages, everything, Industrial Revolution, blah, blah, blah. This shit is not gonna excite you, you know.
Yeah, you're
Like,
like,
oh, computer, they made it smaller, it's not as big as a room anymore, who gives a shit?
Maybe.
He'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be alive forever, I'll probably see computers in people's brains, I don't know.
yeah.
He doesn't care.
I agree. It will mostly be boring. It will mostly be just a drag after a certain point, and you just want it to end, I guess, for like a new this thing. But
Yeah, okay, even
maybe
take something.
I feel like it's something that we cannot fathom because we are ourselves are not in such a position.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
we can fathom it.
Yeah,
Imagine
we can.
space travel. You're like,
Yeah.
right now we are like, holy shit, we can go to space. And these guys are going to be like, I guess I can just go and just not require a bloody whole
Yeah,
suit
exactly.
and oxygen tank. I'll just go up there and just live. Who cares anymore?
Just keep
That's what you're gonna be
dying.
like. You're gonna be like, okay.
Just fucking chuck
Eventually,
his
I'm going
body
to go
into
to
space, he'll
someday.
freeze and eventually hit a planet. Yes.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
no, it's like, see, if you're going to go to space once, you're going to go to space again, okay?
Ah.
And if you're going to go to space multiple times, eventually, through
Yeah,
your
eventually,
yeah, you are going to go.
You are going to do. It's the same thing, Audi. Like, we get excited about going to Japan. If you were immortal, you wouldn't give a fuck. You're like, yeah, eventually in 1,000 years I'll get there. Who gives a
Dude,
shit?
if you are
I will
immortal
just
the way
walk
these
from here.
guys
Yes,
are,
I'm
you could
gonna reach
literally
there.
walk and swim and
Yeah,
do
you
whatever you
walk
want to go to
and-
Japan.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Hmm.
You don't
And
get
here's the thing. It's like the vaccine right now. Okay, I can register, but I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a huge crowd. There's gonna be a lot of waiting. I'm not gonna do that. Eventually, I'm gonna get it anyway. I'm not in any risk right now, so I'll wait like a week before I get it. I'm happy
Yeah.
with that. It's like that, and I'm not immortal by any means.
Yeah, I'm not.
These
I
dudes will just
registered,
be like,
but I'll never get it. I don't know when my number will come up. But I'm somewhere in the big queue.
no, I think the elderly can get it quicker.
Yeah.
I think there was registration
yeah.
today. As of this day of recording, there was
Audi.
registration
Audi,
around
keep
2
up
o'clock.
with the what the hell, Audi?
Oh my
You can
god.
register, bro.
No, I'm already registered. I think I think you have to like get your date or something. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, see, you guys are
Point
going to
being-
have to wait for like a million years anyway, and even I'll have to wait a million years.
Yeah.
But the thing is, by the time you guys get it, I'm going to be like, okay, now people are getting it easily, so I'll just apply and get it immediately. It's like how it's kind of like how we applied for the Dota 2 beta. So the beta was like nearing its end, and I was like, okay, people are getting their invites, apply, and then I got it immediately. So I was like, beta.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's still in beta.
Yeah,
But yeah.
even games wouldn't like excite you. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
nothing would excite
you'd be like,
you.
oh, dude, oh, you made chess. Oh, yeah, I've been there, done that. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, chess is now on a computer. Been there, done that.
Dude, you'd be like,
I suppose.
be so bored.
Maybe there will be large boring gaps. Yes.
Like, oh, you
I
can,
will
they'll be
admit
like,
it.
oh, you can speak like
Even if
10
you do get
languages.
excited,
Oh,
yeah.
I can speak ancient languages that no one remembers. Yeah. What the fuck you gonna do?
Also,
Fucking
mind you,
recite all mech and everything.
mind you,
Yeah.
the main problem is again people in power who, unless you are the one in power, like the
Yeah.
ultimate power.
If you
But-
climb there, yeah.
Yeah, but if there are people in power who notice, they just look at you and be like, hey, just pull up a photo of this dude from 100 years ago. And
Yeah.
Huh, he hasn't aged a day. And then they just come to you and you're like, hey, what's the secret to your youth? And you're like, huh?
You're a
It's,
lab rat.
aloe vera.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Aloe vera, yes. How old is this aloe vera?
and then they just give you a little stab with a knife and be like,
Yeah.
and then it closes up and they're like,
You're gonna
Like
be
for
a
some
science
super soldiers,
experiment.
yes.
Yeah, you're gonna be a
Yes,
science.
yes.
Dude, and if you fall into the hands of the wrong person, like the kid met the rail tracer, like if you the guy who used to torture him, if you
Yeah,
fall in the
yeah,
hands of
yeah.
someone like that, you're fucked.
Yeah,
You're
that makes
fucked.
sense.
You're fucked for like whatever 80 years that person lives for and decides
no,
to
that's the
keep
thing. That
torturing you.
even if that person dies, they're gonna be the last dying breath. They'll probably be like, immortal person, basement, torture, notes, and then they'll just give up some notes, and that guy will be like, okay, tried burning his eyes next, tried throwing him in fire next, tried electrocuting him next, tried chopping him up next, and be like, now haven't tried barbecuing him with sauce. Let me try that.
Yeah, dude,
And
if you fall
see,
into,
that's
like,
something.
a crazy dude, yeah, fucking.
Since you're immortal, the only new thing you can probably look forward to is be like, what new torture method will they
Yeah.
find out now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the rail tracer dude is like, the kid was like, hey, I've been burned alive. He's like, fuck you. I'll show you what pain
Yeah, I
is,
was like,
bitch.
what the fuck just bit off his fucking fingers, dude. The rail tracer had an interesting
the-
sense of this thing for good people. He's like, oh, you're good, I won't kill you. Like he did for Isaac and Miria. It's like,
Yeah, he
oh,
has a very
by
warped
the
sense
way,
of justice.
yeah, very warped. And he's the old man. And also, I was like, I don't know about the light novel, but I'm like, Isaac and Miria shouldn't have been floating on that rope for so long. They should
Yeah.
have died.
Isaac and Miria shouldn't have been on the rope in the first place. The fact that the big dudes was able to just pull them and fucking yeet them across over the top of the train was unbelievable.
That's Baccano.
Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Which apparently means raucous in Italian.
Yes, makes sense.
Well, makes sense. Yes,
Yes, it
the
was
whole
a
show
rocket.
itself is a chaos in itself.
But I genuinely do, like, is this like some, you know, those personality types where they have the neurotypical people where like NT or whatever, but yeah, basically like these normal people who are like, oh, I would like to be immortal, it would be so good, and I'm just here like, end me now.
Yeah. No, I see that's the thing. Most people that have talked about immortality think it's pain, but a few friends, I'm not going to name them, they've said that they would want to be immortal because I don't think they understand the concept of pain of living for that long yet is what I would say. I think they're just thinking like short-term immortality, even though that statement itself doesn't make sense. They're like, ooh, I'll be alive, I'll do this and that, but they're not thinking long-term, which will hurt them.
Yeah, like what the hell are you going to do for that long?
Yeah.
I genuinely I understand. Like there are unlimited interests for you to take part in this world, and I'm pretty sure that you can never, like even with immortality, you can never actually go through every single thing that the world experiences on a daily basis.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
are you
no.
really going to be interested in that stuff when you're immortal? Like after a point, I'm going to be like, oh, geology, rocks, great. I'm going to be like, oh, dinosaurs, yes, been there, done that.
Yeah, for the first few 100 years you'll
Yeah.
have fun, but after
Yeah.
that it's just pain forever for thousands and millions of years.
Yeah, and even those characters who seek immortality because they want to have knowledge, like Orochimaru in Naruto is like, oh, I'm going to live forever and I'm going to become so knowledgeable. I'm like, yeah, won't you get bored? Won't you be like, okay, someday someone's going to come to you and be like, yo, check out this cool new thing I did. I found out how to revive a dead person. And you're like, oh, tell me more. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, you found out how to revive a dead person. Then you're like, yo, I found out how to switch bodies. Like,
This is like the same
Yeah, but
reaction that Invoker had to any new knowledge.
The Bacca-no thing of immortality, see there they put like a little this thing where they're like, oh, another immortal person can basically kill you, right? So
Yeah.
they're like, you don't have to live forever. But if they do that, in the end, there'll still be one left who
One
has
immortal,
absorbed
exactly.
everyone, who live like the worst life,
Yeah.
So if they give that option, you can be like, okay, I'll be immortal, bro, you also be immortal, but you have to kill me and I'm ready to die.
Or it's like, both of them are just like holding each other's heads. And they're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, suck.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, hopefully they work.
For all you know, they'll just exchange
The
bodies or
university.
something
Yeah.
and be like, this did not work the way we wanted.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that is freaking crazy.
I mean, can't they just summon the demon and then have that, or ask the demon for a favor?
Even
I mean, they
then
do that either way.
The demon is still going to be immortal. What is that guy doing?
Yeah,
He's
what
just
is
like
that?
following this guy,
The
Maisa,
demon
and he's
probably
like,
has his
fucking with
own
people
fucking
now.
universe
Yeah.
to follow.
No,
He
he's
just comes.
following
He's
Maisa. He's sitting next to him. He's part of the Martello, whatever family.
Martello family.
Yeah, he's just
But
there and
I
he's
thought,
like, Maisa, what you doing today? Brushing your teeth, are you?
I thought the demon was like Ryuk. He was just like bored in his own
No,
realm.
he's
Like,
just a
what?
homunculus.
These guys
He's
are
not
arch-
an actual
Yeah, he's
demon.
just
They
a
just call him a
homunculus.
demon because they don't understand anything about it.
Yeah. He's like.
Like Ryuk is an actual Shinigami, but here it's like they call Light a god. He's not a god. He's just a
Yeah.
human. It's like this guy is just a homunculus. What's the dude doing living
Made by
forever?
whom?
I don't know.
Who
That's
made
not.
this?
I haven't gone that deep into Bacca-no
So it's just an eternal homunculus that knows
All
this
of them
person
are eternal
somehow?
homunculi.
Well, I mean, to some extent, I mean, some people get sucked up, so
I don't know. See, I don't really understand because from the way the dude explained it, the devil, he's like, you need to put your right hand on somebody and think that you want to eat them, and the other person must be like, yes, I want to be eaten. At least that's how I understood it. But then later, people just go willy-nilly like.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Why
the
don't
second part. I thought you only put your
No,
hand
that's
where
how
you
I
want
understood
to.
it. I was like, okay, if you want to die, you can do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
by. I was like, okay, that means you need to give permission to die. Otherwise, it's just like murder, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it
want to
is.
die. Why are you giving that guy an option to just kill me?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense. It's like, okay, you're immortal, but don't piss off other immortals. You will die.
Yeah. Just
yeah.
Like,
chill on your
like
own.
if somebody comes and they're like, oh, I'm gonna suck you. I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to die, and then you'll be like, ah, shit, okay, nothing's happening. Damn it.
Yeah, just awkwardly have their hand on your head,
Yeah.
like Ashirwad, like.
No, instead they'll be
like
like,
in
ah,
India.
good boy. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't going to kill you. I was just appreciating your hair.
At least in the anime, it's
Like,
nice of the
yes,
demon
thank
to
you for your
give them
blessings.
two-factor authentication. Like, yes, put your right hand and then say you
Yeah, I mean,
think
it
you want
should be.
them to die.
two-factor authentication is proven. If you don't have it enabled, go enable it right now. But it should have it, right? Or maybe they just don't enable it. Maybe they're just like, oh, I'm gonna die, and then the mind is like, okay, dead, okay.
Yeah, they have thoughts of dying, and they're like. Also, the way they get sucked in, I'm like, into like literally everything except their clothes get sucked in.
Yeah, I imagine they get dried up, but then literally everything gets taken up. Their bones,
They have
their eyes.
like
It's kind of like Big Mom eating people in One Piece, and Jinbei
But
was
Big
just
Mom
like,
doesn't
I
kill
don't
them
fear
after.
you, and then he's
Yeah.
like, yep, I live. Yeah, at least something
Big
like
Mom doesn't-
that.
Big Mom doesn't kill them, though. She just takes a good chunk of their soul, doesn't she?
She literally
Takes their
eats them and
souls.
sucks their soul out.
Yeah. She literally consumes their soul.
She
And
eats
can
her
turn
mother's
into
soul.
other things.
She
Yeah.
pull.
She can take parts of people's soul, but she can also take
Yeah,
the
the-
entire soul.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think this
who's
is like?
that
Okay,
dude?
I can take a part of your soul, but not the whole thing.
Well, I don't know. Like in the part I did see, they show that Big Mom just takes a part of the soul because she knows how to torture
She
them and she
can
has
do
full
that
control over the
also.
soul power.
What do you think is like a Coke machine where you just click it and then it's like shh, and
Yeah.
then you're like, I want more, but then the machine is like, no.
Yeah, you know, she made her own like kingdom with that shit, right?
Yeah, she literally takes souls and puts them in other
things.
inanimate
Zeus and-
objects.
Prometheus.
And she literally ate like the entire orphanage of kids
Yeah.
with the evil mother who was supposed to be good.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for One Piece, but we said spoiler alert at the start,
Hey,
so
but
you can't blame
bro,
us.
that Big Mom
I mean-
arc was going on for 2 years, like 2 years ago, so you should have caught up by now.
Yeah.
Big Mom is still in the story. Spoiler alert.
I guess. But yeah.
But yeah, she's well past eating children.
Yeah,
yes.
but she just died last chapter. Oops.
But this thing, lad didn't die, right? After that,
No, he
after he
didn't.
ran into the water tank, somehow,
he
and
didn't.
No, his hand just exploded. That's
that
all.
guy, oh, he's so crazy. Don't remember we talked about him dancing on in this.
Dude,
friend's
that was weird as
Like,
hell
holy
for me.
shit,
Like
this-
he was just casual and he was
character
smiling
is
and dancing
fucking
around.
Crazy.
No, and the thing is, who is also like a very similar character. Like the dude, the mechanic dude is also, he has the
he
same
is similar.
energy and the same.
Yeah. Dude, the way he was fucking juggling a truck and he
Yeah.
was everything, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah.
Like I was still okay with Rail Tracer being running around really fast and almost supernaturally, but then this guy who is just picking up a truck, going in part one, screw here, there, engine in the front, everything all over the place, properly assembled. He just felt a bit off.
You must
So
know
it-
Audi. Audi is named Audi because he's very good with cars. So
Yeah, he's
his
an
experience
expert.
was
Yeah.
like, this is wrong.
It's like, that is wrong. The
I cannot
axle
throw up a
wheel-
truck and disassemble it. Nobody can.
Yeah.
No.
It's like the axle wheel into the engine motor.
I don't need to. I
The
just need to
piston
this
and
and
the-
everything
I don't
gets
know, I don't know.
disassembled.
As you know, we don't know shit about cars. Peeps don't know shit about cars.
Yes.
Speak for yourself. I am a car expert.
Uh-huh. Audi
Did you
shall
know
judge
that-
At
you.
least wait until a racing manga comes up, then who
Did
knows,
you
maybe you
know
will
that
be a car
Tata
expert.
owns Jaguar.
Yes.
Oh, you knew. Did you know that Tata owns Mercedes?
Range Rover and Mercedes, yeah.
Oh shit, wow, I just guessed that. Wow, I didn't know that. Holy shit, Tata owns Mercedes. Good.
Wow,
He doesn't,
even
but
I had
sure.
no idea, dude. I am out. I'm the worst person. I don't know shit
Hey,
about
all I
cars.
know is like Tata owns some major car companies with
Okay, I
like a big
see.
boys. They
Yeah,
own
they just own-
Lamborghini.
I don't know. I'm not gonna make any. I have zero knowledge of who owns who.
I think
Just
I think
take
they
my
do,
word
yeah.
for it, okay? I know my shit when it comes to cars. Tata
Yes.
owns Lamborghini.
Am I the only person among you all who has a license but still can't drive?
Still, ironically, doesn't know shit about cars. Yes.
Hey, I do have a license.
Well, I guess.
Oh wait, Lamborghini is owned by Volkswagen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Audi, you
Land
didn't,
Rover and Jaguar
Yeah.
are the only Tata.
Only companies
Audi is
owned by
also
Tata.
owned by Volkswagen.
Yes, yeah.
Volkswagen
Yes,
is a
you
big
are.
German company that has
And they
basically
own
hands in
Porsche.
everything.
Hey, can we not like bore the weebs
Turn this
by
into a
talking
car
about
episode?
cars?
Yes.
Can we not bore the weebs by talking about cars?
Hey, weebs love cars.
Well, the Itashas and stuff they do, but I don't know. That's still a small niche.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Baccano, dude.
No, what were we talking about Bacca?
Oh, we're talking about how fucking crazy lad is. And then we're talking about the screwdriver, dude.
So interesting
Lua.
thing in the light novels.
Yeah.
So they actually take the rail tracer's POV, and so it was weird how he kept appearing back in the conductor's rail, right? In the
Yeah.
conductor's cart. You know why that was happening?
Why?
Because what he was doing was he was climbing under the train, switching off electricity per carriage, killing people, switching it back on, going back to the conductor's carriage, switching on the turn lights and so on accordingly because he's a good conductor, and then coming back.
Oh my god, wow. Holy shit. That makes
That's
sense.
why he's seen all around the
Yeah,
train because
yeah,
he keeps going back and forth.
Holy shit. So he still wants to be a conductor.
Yeah, he's still a conductor. He's still a good conductor.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I
still
will
good.
take care that may make sure this train reaches. Whether
Yeah.
someone's alive inside, I will not confirm, but I will.
It's a very interesting mix of character, like a murderer,
yeah,
but has
he's a
to
very
be
interesting
meticulous as a conductor. Yes.
Mhm. He's
He has
pretty
too
cool.
many names.
Yeah, he has too
Vino.
many.
We
Rail
know,
Tracer.
but yeah.
Mhm. He's a cool character. He's cool crazy, not like crazy like lad.
How is he
Still
cool
walk.
crazy? He's also
He's
crazy.
still pretty
Yeah, he's
walked
fucking
as
crazy.
lad
He's
and
crazy as shit,
woohoo.
okay? But if you see him
I was
and
gonna say
lad,
woohoo.
you're like, oh, his moves are cooler, and you're like, lad, he's just gone. Both of them are gone.
His moves are cooler, but then both of them are
Yeah,
like
both of them are.
barbaric
Yeah,
as
both
shit.
of them. Maybe Ray Tracer is worse than lad. You know.
Yeah, because he's like,
He
the world
was.
goes
This guy's
around me,
bathed
I
in
am
the
the
blood of his
world.
enemies.
If
Yeah.
anything happens to me, you will all disappear.
Yeah,
And he's
exactly.
like, they show the imagery of him playing a film, and he's like, I'm like, what the hell? That's creepy as hell, dude. What the heck?
Yeah, he's freaking.
That's
And
narcissism.
he's
for
always
me.
covered in blood. Like throughout the whole this, he was
Yeah,
covered
like
in blood.
leaders will say, "I will bathe in your, I will bathe in your blood," and this guy's actually bathing in
Yeah.
their blood as he's like going
They
around
show
killing more
him
people.
in the. Doesn't he come in the episode 14?
14, no. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
seen.
He's
14.
there. He's
No,
there in
wait.
the last couple of episodes. Then
Okay,
basically,
okay.
I didn't recognize him at the start. I was like, hey, yeah, this dude looks familiar. And he meets the little kid. I forgot his name as well. But
Cheslaw Maya.
yeah,
Yeah,
he meets
chess,
him.
yeah.
And the kid's like, hey, who are you? And he's like, oh, don't you remember the voice of the person who tried to kill you? And this guy's like, and he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you now. Yeah, train ride is over. And this guy's like, and then he runs away crying. And this dude's like, I told him to take it easy. I wonder why he's so scared. And then he goes to Rachel, and after he scares the shit out of her. And he's like, oh, yeah, you should. I heard you went back and bought a ticket. You should have done that the first time. And then she suddenly gets a flashback, and she's like,
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. Dude, that was freaking crazy when he just comes to her and he's like, ticket please.
yeah. And then he takes her. He's like, yo, you want to get something to eat? And he just walks away. He's like, I want to talk to you about something. I want some advice for a woman who I want to marry. And then she follows him. I don't know why. And they're sitting and talking. And he's eating pasta, and he's like talking to her, and he's telling her about He's telling her about Shane, and he's like, how I want to get married to her. What's the best way to confess love and all that? And Rachel is just like, what the fuck is going on over here? This dude is like batshit crazy. Damn. And there are apparently there's this dude called Mr. Turner who was in the carriage in the anime, but he was a cameo.
Okay.
He was. Wait, do you guys know why Rachel doesn't buy tickets?
No.
Oh, so basically, it's explained. The president explains it to this dude.
Okay.
Her father was blamed for a huge accident, and he was trying to get past it, but in his frustration, he started hating the railway system, but he still loved it, and eventually he died, and she got that anger towards the system because she was like, oh, how dare you treat my dad this way? But she still loved the system because the railroads and all that, because her dad was so involved with it. So she still loved the trains, she still loved the railroads, but she didn't want to give more money to the people. They didn't want to make them more powerful, so she travels without a ticket as her own rebellious thing. She's like,
Oh,
haha, you
that
screw over
makes
my
sense.
dad, I screw you
The-
over
Yeah,
the ticket.
that makes more sense.
That guy, he was like, yeah, she's going through her own shit, just let her
Damn.
be. And even though it was a light-hearted joke, I didn't understand it, but now
Yeah.
adding on to that, it makes more sense.
And one dude called Mr. Turner in the carriage in the train apparently is a racist and xenophobic dude who insults an Irish person and a half Chinese person in the light novel.
Okay.
And so this dude says a lot of things. Apparently, this Mr. Turner is the dude who blamed her dad for everything, and she hates him at sight, but she doesn't know who he is.
Oh, I see.
A lot of like
Hey, that
extra
means
things.
there can still be an anime in the future continuing the series, right? It's
Maybe.
possible, right? Yeah.
Maybe, but this shit is old, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
we're just 13 years,
2007, no?
14
Yeah,
years.
13 years.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's not very likely
but
that it's
since
going
the
to get
light
another
novels are
adaptation.
still ongoing, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who
And
knows?
maybe we'll get
I mean,
a
if it does
Konosuba
catch the
season
eye,
3 as well.
Yep. Would like that too.
Sid wouldn't like that. It's a
Hey,
lie.
I like Konosuba.
You're like, oh, second
Yeah, he-
season's so boring.
It's
he,
not
he
funny
hates
enough for
isekais,
me.
but he
Yeah.
had.
I hate.
Yeah, he
I don't
liked
like isekais,
Konosuba.
but I like Konosuba. The
We
first
need to
season,
watch that
So you like
I
the
like
first
the
season,
first
yeah.
season. I like the first season.
Hmm.
We need to watch that slime isekai. by the way.
I'm out. No, I do not want to watch the fucking slimy isekai.
Apparently, it's very good.
You can check it out.
Well, and anyone will probably be like, yeah, isekais are all good except Sid.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just not fun. I didn't. Well, I haven't seen a lot of isekai. I've seen like 4 or 5.
Well, are you going to
isekais.
watch Sunny Boy?
Yeah, Sunny Boy. I'm gonna watch.
Oh, that's an isekai, technically.
Yeah. Well, technically, but I've seen 5-6 isekais. I've seen No Game No Life, which was. It was interesting. It got a little weird towards the end, but it was just Sword Art Online. Konosuba,
Hmm.
first season was good. But yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Not like I don't watch them.
This
I saw the first episode of ReZero.
I too. What's the first
Yes,
episode
you
of
too
ReZero?
saw
I
it,
couldn't
yeah.
complete it.
Yes, exactly.
No offense to anybody who loves ReZero. I just,
Yes, no offense.
I don't know. Maybe I like it if I watch it more, but.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
what were you
fucking Tsubasa Chronicles. It's really old school. I saw it when I was a kid. I did enjoy that. That was pretty cool. Had good music from what I remember. But yeah, what were you saying?
this dude, the Elmer, the guy who made
Elmer Crew,
Huey.
yes.
He reminded me of the guy from Monster, the smiling dude.
My god, oh yeah.
Fucking hell. Ah, what's his name?
The
Yes, I know the smiling dude.
yeah, I forgot his name.
No, you know who he reminds me of more actually? He reminds me of the army dude who became a reporter from this thing.
Huh?
Banana Fish.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. That
Oh,
guy.
that dude. Yeah, holy shit. The guy in the prison cell. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
they look very similar.
They do.
It's almost,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see that.
But then this I'm thinking more in the lines of how we
Smiling
have
all
a
the
running
time.
joke with Johan being in literally everything. So
Well,
Who knows?
who's the Johan of this series? I don't know. Firo.
No, I don't think anyone. No, Firo is not Johan. Dude.
Oh, apparently
Firo's not
Firo's
here.
a
Firo has
huge
to-
asshole in the light novels.
What? Yeah.
To everybody except like his superiors, Ennis and
Oh.
one more person. I forgot who the last person was. But yeah, apparently he's a
Miser.
huge asshole to everybody.
And Isaac and Miria. You can't be an asshole to Isaac and Miria.
I don't know about Isaac and Miria, but they weren't mentioned in this thing I was
I see.
reading.
I mean, he seemed fine in the whole
They
anime.
made
Yeah,
him
the
look
anime they
very
changed it to
good.
be a lot
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
shonen
Ah,
protagonist type of person, but apparently he's a huge asshole in the light novels.
Mhm.
Wow. You really
Well, that
should
sucks.
check out the light
I like this
novels.
character, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was a nice character.
Yeah, basically, yeah, like what Bruce said in the beginning is true. If you don't know about the existence of the light novels, you're like, cool.
Yeah.
But if you know, you're like, what the fuck? Why did they
Yeah, because
fucking
I was-
give us enough?
I was
Yeah.
reading it and I was like, what the hell did I watch if this is the actual source?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
We-
good.
we
it was
haven't-
good. It's not like it wasn't bad, but I
No,
think
no,
it
it
could have been
wasn't
better.
bad. No, but it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
like mind blowing crazy. Yeah.
I think if we read the light novels and kind of understand the universe a bit more, then who knows, maybe we'll have a different view of the anime itself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because we apparently know very little of it.
We do know very little.
And out of what, 20 odd light novels, this is what, 3 or 5, as you said?
5, I think.
Ah.
Also, we wanted to
So
try
who
a new
knows?
format with this podcast where we keep like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever this thing is, and the fourth one is usually going to be pictures and clips and stuff. But we talk so much about the light novel and about shit that doesn't happen in the anime that I don't know if we can do that, but we'll do it as much as
We
possible.
try, you can try. Yeah.
Yeah, like when we say, like, you know, we moved from steam to electric vehicles, and I'll be like, hey, steam engine picture.
Yeah, you can do that. But yeah, dude, I think.
One thing,
Yes.
group we haven't talked about is the niece and the dude with the sword tattoo.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah, I told
Jacuzzi's
you that
plot.
they
Yeah,
this
he
thing.
did say that. Yeah.
They get
Which one?
Shane and then they go and try to rescue her.
Oh, that's all.
That's pretty much all that happens
I mean,
afterwards. Yeah.
first
I haven't
I
read
thought-
anything else.
yeah.
No, I was asking more in the lines of what did you think
I
about?
thought he
like
has
that?
supernatural powers because he's like, yo, don't make
I
me
also
cry, I'll
thought
go
he had
crazy.
supernatural-
But he's just a dude.
Yeah, it
Dude,
seems
in
so
that
shonen
once-
like, right?
Yeah.
In that one scene, I was like, oh, he's gonna go fucking Mr. Hyde over here and fuck up.
And
all
because
the
it was a
others in one
night
go.
as well, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
werewolf powers activate. rawr,
Yeah, I
kill.
thought something would happen.
And then he's like, oh,
Fucking-
I don't want you to die. And they're like, oh, you're gonna kill me. And he's like, no, behind you. I'm like, "Pat." I'm like, oh. God
Okay,
damn it, that
his buddy
debated the
Frankenstein
hell
comes
out
out
of
of
me.
nowhere, just going dong.
Yeah. He was like,
But Sid, if we ever get captured, you know what we can do with Ordino.
hmm.
We just cry and be like, hey, I don't want you to die. And they're like, oh, you're gonna kill me. I'm like, hey, look behind. And then Audie's standing there like,
Yeah.
you know the
Dude,
name of the frog and he's like getting ready to punch. Like, that's Audie.
Dude, that guy,
my God.
remember in the beginning, he just crushes the guy's hand along with the gun.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? That does sound like what Audi would also do to save us. Yes.
Yes.
No, Audie would never crush a gun. He'd be like, no, I respect you too much. He would take it and shoot a couple of
Yes,
people.
I
and
would
be like,
take the
"Yes."
gun and shoot them with it. Yes.
Then he would crush it. Be like, now the
Yeah.
cops can't catch me. But hey, that works.
But yes.
Audie works like that. Yes, that is true.
Yes,
Also, the
Audi
music was
does.
pretty good.
Yeah, the music.
Oh,
No.
that's wrong. Wrong
And
anime,
wrong
anime.
music.
Yes.
It's a fucking coin flip. Then.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever skipped like one episode's this thing starting sequence. I think there was one
I
point where I
skipped
was
most
following up.
All.
I skipped most of it, but
That's
later
nice.
on I started enjoying the tune, so I started listening to it more. And I
I
always saw
did
the
it all.
even when I skipped it, I always saw the intro with like Isaac and Emilia running
Yeah.
the Santa Claus, and then I used to skip after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
it's-
so what I did was
Hmm.
I downloaded it from a very legitimate source.
You saw the original
Called-
broadcast in
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Crunchyroll has offered a download of Baccano
Wow.
using the original clips, yes, and they allow you to watch it in English or Japanese with subtitles.
Oh wow.
And so while playing
convenient.
it through the offline Crunchyroll app,
yes,
uh,
of course.
Yes.
which I paid for,
Mhm.
I had to switch the audio to Japanese and add the subtitle file which Crunchyroll decided to give. So by the time I did that, the Miria and Isaac scene would play out. So I'd be watching that and slowly doing it. And, like, and then
Yeah,
I'd play
also-
fully. And then I'd go to the
yeah.
next thing on Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Also, since we saw it legally, like on Crunchyroll, like the quality was like very high. Right? It was really HD.
Yeah, I saw it
Lots
at
of
1080p. I
details,
think
yeah.
Crunchyroll like remastered it
Yeah,
in
Yes,
some
yes.
way.
1080p.
Really high
Yeah.
details, especially
Yeah.
during the night scenes, like enjoying
Yes,
that.
yes.
Mhm.
That is true. That is true. Yes.
Yes, yes.
The Crunchyroll people are very good at remastering things while keeping the data consumption low. I agree that.
Yes,
Yes.
Very
exactly.
impressive.
Good job, good job. Thank you.
If any one of you want to get a discount on Crunchyroll, just DM us and we'll give it to you.
We'll give it to you.
No.
Don't DM us if you're from Crunchyroll, okay? We won't fall for that.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crunchyroll sponsor us, please. Like if Crunchyroll sponsors us, we can actually give a discount. We can be like, hey, put in code Weeb101 for
Yes,
free
yes.
Crunchyroll for 1 month.
Mhm. And please give us free Crunchyroll for 1 month. Which we
Yeah.
do have. It's a joke. We have Crunchyroll, of course.
No,
yeah.
I'm saying we have to pay for it. So,
Yeah, we have to pay for
keep it
it, yeah.
free for us. So that
Yeah.
way we don't have to pay for
We
it.
have
all
the
time.
premium VIP yearly subscription, as one does.
Yes, as one does.
As one does.
Which is typical for people our age.
Yes, yes.
By the way, if you may not be able to find Bacca on Crunchyroll, sometimes we get to watch anime before it comes out to you normal people, you know. So
We have
Yes,
we know a
yes.
dude in the Crunchyroll office.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. It's a shame we only have 50 subscribers after having that kind of a contact.
Yeah, that's the
50.
problem, right? even our contact in Crunchyroll. Like I was talking to him yesterday, or her. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
I was talking to them yesterday, and they were like, "Damn, you guys need more subscribers." Like, sad. I'm subscribed, but it's sad. So you should subscribe right now.
Yes, yes.
Yes, please subscribe. But yeah, I think anything else to
I
talk
think we've
about,
summed up
guys?
everything on Baccano. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
We
we're
good?
done with Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano.
Yes. We shall link that
Okay,
song.
can't
Listen
go
to
get that
Brainwashing by Avich. But yeah.
information. Fuck you, Sid.
And comment Bacca-Bacca-De-Baccano in the comment.
If you commented, we will
Feedback
pin
to
it.
us.
Yes. I just heard Audie's chair like squeak the minute he
Oh, no, that was my
That was
chair.
Bruce's
Oh,
chair.
that's yours.
My
chair.
chair is wooden. How the fuck does it squeak now?
I don't know. It's you.
Oh, it's not squeaking anymore. What the heck? Okay.
But
It is
yes.
squeaking. We can hear it.
No, not the way it was before. Okay, anyway,
I see.
I think that's it
Yeah.
for this episode. Then we've discussed Baccano pretty quickly, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But it was like 16 episodes, like one of the
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah, it's
ones we've
pretty
done.
short. Yeah.
Okay, Sid. But
Actually, same amount of time. It's what, 1 hour, 5 minutes now?
yeah,
Yeah.
we've gone 1 hour 20
1 hour 10
minutes
minutes
usually.
is-
1 hour
Yeah,
for
usually
30
we
minutes
do.
usually.
This is a
shorter.
generally shorter episode. Yeah.
But yeah, I hear, Sid, a little birdie told me, the little information broker told me for $500 that our next episode is not going to be that short. What is it?
Yeah, it's gonna
Let
be-
us know.
By the way, before that, why do you pay $500? You could have just asked me, dude. Like,
Because I asked you and you said, I will tell you when the podcast comes. I was like, information broker, take my money. Tell me what the next one is. But I was
I
like,
see.
I don't know what it is, but it's long. I was like,
yeah,
Waste
even
of
I
time.
haven't read this actually, but I've been hearing about it here and there. You know, it's
and
a
there.
pretty beautiful looking manga from some images I've seen. It's called Otoyome Gatari, or A Bride Story by Kaoru Mori. It's a manga that we haven't heard a lot about. Not a lot of people are talking about it, and a few
I've already
people
read 4 chapters.
here and there have been mentioning it. Audi has already got a head start on us. He's read
yeah, I
a
already
few
saw the word
chapters.
Let's
bride
start.
and he was like, oh, damn. Oh.
Oh,
My God.
He's like, oh yes, I will need that. But yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
So yeah, we'll be reading that. Check it out. You can start reading and join us next week. And you know,
And if you don't finish it, don't worry because we also might
we
not.
won't finish it either.
How many chapters are there right now?
I think it's
100.
Yeah, around 100. Yeah.
96 actually.
Mhm.
Yes, we will finish it.
We'll read as much as we can to discuss about it properly.
It is 30 pages per chapter, so it shouldn't
Mm.
hopefully not be that much of an issue. I don't know if
Yes.
they vary their pages accordingly.
And if you guys don't know where to find it, just Google it with Read Online and put Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll has a manga app as well now.
Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Crunchyroll. A subscription. Free subscription for
uh,
us, please.
Yes, free subscription. Yes,
I mean, if
definitely.
Crunchyroll doesn't have a manga app, I just gave them a great idea. So, sponsor,
They
please.
do. It's called Crunchyroll manga.
Yeah, I know that. I
What
use
do you
it.
know?
Of
And
course,
you can-
Adi. It was a joke. Oh, goddamn.
Yes.
Yeah, you can
Adi
see
doesn't understand jokes.
any manga you know you like Shueisha Shonen Jump, you can read it there even though it's not published by them, it's by Enterbrain, but you can still read it on the Shonen Jump website.
You can just search on Google, read online, and put the name that you want afterwards.
Say
Like
read
for
online.
example, Bakuman, read online.
No, wait.
Crunchyroll.
You have to put legally after that. Read online legally.
No,
That's
I'm saying
important.
Bakuman, read online.
Okay.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Because we are
Ah.
advising
Yes.
people to go to Crunchyroll.
I have already added it to my cart. It'll be coming like tomorrow, so I'll be able to start reading it.
Yes. I wonder what exactly you added because it's not
Amazon
there.
said it's on the way.
Yeah, dude. Audie, did you order it? We told you to be ready.
Dude,
Oh, God
What's
damn.
wrong with you, Audie?
Yes, I forgot. Damn it.
Wait, how did you read 4
I'll order it
chapters
now.
if you haven't ordered it, Audie? This is suspicious.
Yes. You aren't doing anything ungodly, are you?
Yes,
Throwback
anything
to an
unethical.
Not really, no.
Saint Oni-san.
Anything unethical, Audie?
Nothing at all.
Audie's done.
No.
He's hiding his face. well.
Yes, if anyone needs
Wrap
to
it up.
find him, his name is Audie Nair. He lives in Goregaon. Please, you can go
Yes.
find him. But let's wrap this up before Audie implicates us in his illegal activities. That's it for this episode of Weeb101. Next time we're
Yes.
going to be doing what?
Otoyome Gatari.
Otoyome Gatari.
Exactly. And before we go, reminder to check out our Instagram, which actually you don't need to anymore. Just check out our other YouTube channel. It's called
Yes.
Last Take. We have started a new format called Bad Take, where we use my beautiful acting skills and the others hate on it saying it's bad. But
Hey, well, we say it's good.
hey,
It's
shut up.
there.
And what do you mean it's there?
Yeah, I just laughed
I'll
throughout
just
the
leave it
whole
at
thing.
that.
I'm just laughing.
Audie's
throughout the
just
whole
jealous
thing.
because he has the acting abilities of a wax statue.
Yes.
Anyway.
I suppose.
It's hard to be a statue.
Bad Take. We have skits up or sketches because Sid thinks skits are the word is too juvenile. And we have made our Opinionated a full series where we give you a lot of random opinions that you didn't ask for.
Yes.
But you can check it out on Weeb101 Last Take. Subscribe there because it seems like soon that channel is going to overtake this podcast channel. But follow us on Instagram for like small updates.
If anyone,
stuff like that.
if anyone was following in the process, Nandemo got culled
Yes,
because
No one noticed.
Because
You don't have to
matters.
talk about it. No one noticed.
Nandemo died for your sins. And
Yes.
that's why you should subscribe
Maybe.
and like right now. Anyway, that's it for this episode. See you next week. Read what?
Otoyome
A
Gatari.
bride
Read it
story.
and-
Yeah.
A bride story. Thank you.
Yes,
Read
bride
it
story.
and you can join us next week for another episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta. See ya.
Sayonara. Next week is the bride story, I think.